I'm the Caveman on Causeway. This is Nate, and I present to you the Causeway Cave. Banner night.
Banner night.
It's around the corner. Any second is going to be here.
It's like Christmas Eve right now.
I know. It feels like the Super Bowl. It feels like this great thing's about to happen tomorrow, today, that where it just feels like a championship round, but it's just game one. I think
it's the energy that from the parade coming right back around.
And I think anytime you get to beat the Knicks or go against the Knicks, it's a good feeling, you know.
Oh, you know Spike Lee's going to be in the building.
Spike Lee's going to be in the building.
TNT cast is going to be in the building. So
all the New York Knicks fans that only get loud when their teams are playing matterful games, you know.
Yeah, and that's only going to happen 4 times this year against us.
Yeah, maybe. I noticed they got some injury concerns though already walking into tomorrow night's game.
Who do they have?
I just read before I got here, Prince Achua is dealing with a hamstring injury for the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
So now we're already dealing with injury issues for the people to say, y'all don't play anybody. Y'all don't play anybody. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing that 18th banner. I definitely had to sew it on to the Caveman outfit beforehand. Couldn't wait.
You going all the festivities?
Yeah, I think I'm going to try to do everything I can tomorrow. So I might have to start at like 10 a.m.
Where are you going to be at? Where am I going to walk up and pull up on you?
You'll pull up on me at the TD Garden, 100%. I just don't know the timing with TNT being at City Hall, and they're doing something over here, and they're doing something over there. I think the whole city of Boston is going to be lit green tomorrow with all the activity. So I'm looking forward to that. Lonnie Walker, do you want to talk about him?
Yeah, we could talk about Lonnie Walker. He was on episode 1. We thought he was going to be a key contributor off the bench for us, and it turns out we got the jinx. He's getting cut.
Yeah, me and a lot of other fans are wicked upset about that.
Yeah, do you think he's going to sign with another team and come back to bite us?
I really hope not. Just don't sign with the Bucks, Knicks, or Sixers. Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Unless it means you don't win against us, but. Yeah, don't be that guy. I know Maine's looking for somebody, you know?
I mean, he could play that Danny Green role where he's that, fill-in post for the championship team.
I know he went on like 3 straight wins doing that, so it might be a good idea. I just know that a lot of the fans rallied behind him, and his work ethic was crazier, which it should be. I feel like in those moments, if you're trying to make a championship team, you're going to go work out until midnight while the whole team is out having a party at Encore. And that was the night before he got let go. Is they all went out and partied. He didn't party.
I bet he wish he went to that party now, though.
I bet he did. I bet he did wish he went to that party. I would have been like, damn, man. But I saw today on Twitter that Real Madrid's basketball team was interested in him. So, I mean, you have
adios, I guess.
You have Pat Beverly, who's killing it overseas, but 16 drug tests later. Did you catch that? They had him do 16 drug tests afterwards.
Well, have you actually looked at our upcoming schedule this week?
With the Celtics' upcoming schedule, the
Yes.
Wizards, Pistons, Bucks, and Knicks.
Yes. 4-0.
I'm gonna be a homer and say 4-0, but worst case 3-1, and that's just the worst case scenario is going 3-1.
Which loss?
I think the Bucks. I think the Bucks would be that one game that smacks us right in the mouth. It could. It's just one of those opponents that it's slept on. They're a dark horse in the league this year. You don't think they're gonna do anything against the Celtics, so I have to stay on the Bucks train in terms of being a threat to the Celtics because I can't just switch that. But
until Tuesday or Monday night, and you'll
right,
be like, oh,
right. Why was I worried? But I think that game I'm more excited for than the other two, Wizards and Pistons.
What? Nothing to see there? You want to see a, up and down game, 140 points scored apiece?
We all know we're gonna win that game
by 15, 20.
Man, I swear you want to say 50 every chance you can.
Do you want to say 20 with me?
Against the Pistons, we'll beat them by 30 or more.
30
or more against the Pistons.
Wow. What about the Wizards?
The Wizards, who do they have? Who do they have? I have no idea. I think Brogdon went there. Malcolm Brogdon said always wanted to be a Wizard.
I don't even know if Brogdon's on the Wizards.
I think he signed this summer. I could be wrong, but there's nobody else on the Wizards.
The guy that was out on the Lakers.
Oh, Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma.
Kuz.
Kuz. I don't know.
You don't think Kuz can help them beat the Celtics in game 2?
you need more than 4 guys.
Is anybody ever worried about anyone named the Wizards?
No.
Like seriously, think about it.
They did have to change it from the Bullets.
Yeah, well, the Bullets were pretty cool, but the DC Bullets were tough. I get it. But let's just say though, are you ever scared of anybody named the Wizards?
No.
Yeah,
I don't think I have been. Even when they had Antoine Jameson.
In grown ass men, it's like the Pelicans, bro. Like, come on, like no one's like,
Yeah.
like, you know
Why
what I mean?
didn't
Stop.
Why didn't we get the Supersonics before the Pelicans?
Like, stop, bro. No one cares about that. Like,
Yeah, we just need the Utah basketball team now.
Speaking of the Pelicans, what do you got for over/under on Zion playing games this year? He's coming off his injury.
I'm gonna say 31.
You think he's gonna play only
Under.
30 under 31 games?
31 games total.
Wow. So you got him playing more games, or do you think Ja Morant
Ooh, that's
plays more games?
that's a
than
toss up.
Zion?
That's a toss up.
what's Zion's like? How many games do you usually play?
I mean, if you average it out, probably like about 30 games, because he's missed so many seasons.
Yeah, so I mean, like, is he?
It's not far off to think he'd play over under 30 games. All it takes is one injury.
Yeah,
We were talking about it last week, Paul George.
we officially have a good show because we have the jinx.
Yeah, I know.
We're talking about
I
Paul
was
George, and
dying
as we're
laughing the next
speaking it into
morning.
existence, he's getting hurt. So
I was like, yo,
Is
no
Zion
way.
a guy who gets hurt? Does he even want to play?
he's a guy who's got a trouble with his diet. Is more so what's going on.
I think the inability to keep his
But
body healthy.
He doesn't keep the
from
weight
injury.
down. He doesn't stay in shape. It's almost like a Shaq thing where he's so talented that he's just letting his talent take over. And a guy like Kobe wants to drive him, every day, get in the gym, get in shape. And he's like, I'm just great. I can jump higher than everyone. I'm faster than everyone. I'm stronger than everyone. And he's just using that at the moment.
But I mean, Zion's been in the league now for like 3 or 4 years, and I don't recall him ever doing anything great.
It's like Ben Simmons almost.
I mean, when he's on the floor, he's a 25 and 7, 25 and 8 guy.
He plays for 30 games a season,
And that's the problem.
Who cares?
that's a problem. Yeah. Hey, he's a Jordan kid, so I mean, he must have had something going for him where they hopped on that train very, very, very quick. But
is he one of those guys that just doesn't want to play? Like,
it's good for the NBA market.
I mean, he was marketed before he got to the NBA. Like, he was a YouTube
no,
sensation.
I know who he is, and I've never seen him play. That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's my point.
And that's the problem. He stays injured.
And
But when he's out there, he's a show.
And all you hear is like, "Oh, this guy's great. He's like the biggest, strongest, fastest guy." And it's like, okay, I've never seen him play.
And that's why I'm saying who plays more, him or Ja Morant? Because both of them are clicking on anytime you see him. It's nothing but flashlights.
I think Ja Morant plays more games than Zion Williamson by at least 10.
I've seen Ja Morant play. I mean, he just does dumb shit. Like,
Yes, but he's a habitual line stepper.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
That's like, I think he.
So
wants to play.
his next step is out of the NBA.
Yeah.
I don't
know
think-
about that. They're gonna keep giving him. They're gonna keep giving him slaps on the wrist.
He's never gonna win anything. He's
Morant?
You could tell, like,
Or Zion.
both.
So you don't think?
When you get to be a certain age, like, and I'm gonna pull the old guy thing again, you can tell who's gonna work and who's not gonna work. You can like automatically see, like, in their character, who is gonna work and who ain't gonna work.
Yeah, and you think that Ja Morant and
guys that
Zion,
don't work don't win.
Guys that don't work don't win.
Have they ever?
I mean, Ja works. He's like I said. I just don't know if his judgment's going to be good enough.
That's part of the
I
deal.
think
of working.
having but
like,
I
cutting
think
that shit
having
off is part of the deal.
So Ja Morant does have Marcus Smart in Memphis now. So I do think that will help in the slightest, or if not to the max. Having
Memphis has a good team.
A veteran, but also like a mature cornerstone piece on that organization, because now Derrick Rose is retired. I feel like
they got Jaren Jeffries protecting the rim, so they got that one.
Jared Jackson is his name.
Jared Jackson, yeah.
He's out now. He also has an injury.
Really?
Yep.
I missed that one. Okay.
We have a lot of injuries coming out the gates. the first.
Is Marcus Smart someone that's really like? Because even down here, he was known like as a party guy. He got in trouble like getting in fights with his girlfriend, punching walls, breaking his hand, cutting glass, all this types of other shit. Was he? I feel like Marcus Smart was one of the people that we had to get the fuck out of here to win a championship. And like, I loved Marcus Smart playing. Like, I did.
Yeah.
But like, I also recognize, like, I love a lot of the people I grew up with.
Yeah.
But I recognize for me to win, I got to get the fuck away from them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, I
so-
get that. I get that 100%. To speak on the terms of we needed to trade away Smart to get the title, I don't know. I can't buy it yet, only because all the times we had with Smart, And
where we came up
I might
short
be-
and didn't
yeah.
win a title.
Yeah, I might be a homer on that case. I
I
mean,
think
I have
so.
I have him. I have his number on the Caveman outfit, so there might be a little bit of a homer right
I feel
there.
the homer vibes coming from you.
Yeah,
Nate, what do you think? About what he just said about Marcus, like in that whole
I think
thing?
Marcus was what was holding us back. I'm more on your line of thinking.
But was he holding us together as well
No,
in those years?
Because I think honestly, it got to a point where he was stunting Tatum's growth. Like Tatum couldn't step into the role and be that guy when you got like the big brother still there. You know, you can't have that guy who's tenured more than you, who's been
You
been
think it was
just,
a really
just as
problem
far.
with the keys? Do you like a problem with the keys to the team?
Well, I mean, you saw the games. Marcus Smart's throwing up shots. Like, what are you shooting for? You're not a shooter. I mean, whoa, don't shoot. Oh, okay,
I get
great,
that way
great,
with
thanks.
Tatum though. Now I'm getting that way with Tatum though. Sometimes he throws up that three, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
So let me throw a question out for you guys, because you seem like a younger guy that's like basketball by heart. Nate's a guy that like I know Nate's basketball IQ is like he's a fundamental basketball. He knows how basketball's played.
Right.
He knows why players are good. He knows why players are bad. He knows all that shit. Jason Tatum. All right. So you got one side of people saying he's not the guy. He can't be the guy. He was the worst guy on the Olympic team. This isn't what I'm saying. This is one of the narratives. Okay,
Yep.
so just let me run with it.
They made the narrative.
This is one of the narratives, but this is one of the narratives.
Yep.
He's never going to be a top 10 guy, never be an MVP candidate, not even the best player on his own team. The reason why he wasn't played on the Olympic team is because he was the worst of the best. And then the other side is all NBA, won his first championship, scored like 27 points in the finals, like led the team in scoring, rebounding, steals, and assists. Top American player in the world. And the narrative goes on, like new face of the league, cover of the magazines, cover of the game. He has some new Tatum thing coming out on Netflix like next week. He has billboards across the city. So what narrative is it? Is Tatum the next guy? Is this the next dynasty? Is he the next leader of the next dynasty? Or is this narrative that he's not capable of doing any of that?
The narrative is let's divide Boston. We got two incredible players.
They're not going to do that.
Well, that is
They'll do
the
everything they
narrative.
can.
The narrative is we're not going to give Jaylen Brown his respect, and he's not going to get all the awards and accolades. And then we're going to give Tatum his respect, give him the awards and accolades,
To piss off Brown.
and then tell him he's not good enough with the awards and accolades that he's earned. Both of these players are top 15 players. Tatum, I like Brown better, but to be perfectly honest, Tatum's a better player. He's a top 5 player.
Okay.
Brown, fringe top 10 player.
So when someone like him says, I'm stopping trusting Tatum shooting, like how much stock do you, as someone who looks at the technical aspects of a basketball game, how much stock do you put into that?
You can't lose stock in shooters. Shooters shoot. And at the end of the day, one game, they're not thinking about the last game. You know, Steph Curry goes on a dry spell, he's still putting them up.
So
He's
let me say this: if there wasn't a problem with Tatum shooting, right, then why is he reworking his jumper?
You're always reworking. You're always working to get better.
All right.
I mean,
He's changing. He's almost changing it completely
that is
to be more efficient.
That's the Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
You're always working to get better. The day you stop working, your competition catches
So
up.
do you think he would buy that? Even he thinks he could hit more threes, just like I'm. Like every time I see him shoot a three, I'm just like. It used to be like, yeah, Tatum shooting that three, money. Now it's switched, I feel like, to Brown. From watching it over the last few years, I would rather see Tatum shoot instead of Brown. But over the last 2 years, it's flipped almost. Brown's hitting those shots that are like, whoa.
I think they both developed. I mean,
They're really young.
Brown's weakness, he's worked on and hitting his shots.
Tatum's a month
His
younger
handle's
than
better
me.
than it used to be.
He's still growing.
Tatum,
See, Brown is one of those guys that I feel
At
like you could tell
26.
he wants to work.
yeah.
Like you can just tell
Jaylen
that
Brown
guy's
is
gonna win.
a hard
no
working.
matter what he does.
They all work really hard.
I mean,
Brown's a
but
defensive guy. Tatum's an offensive guy.
Right.
And they flip roles depending on matchups and things like that.
Matchups, game.
So, but Brown is more likely to go to work on defense and say, I'll score 20 points. Tatum wants that 30 points. But he wants to put up that last shot.
doesn't Tatum also get double teamed though?
Yeah, all the time.
Absolutely.
Brown doesn't really get double teamed.
No, he's gotten left open even against the Warriors. Remember that? They left Jaylen Brown wide open.
It's tough. It's tougher to double team off of anybody other than Tatum. You know, because White can make those shots. Drew Holiday can make those shots. Horford can make that corner three. So when you're doubling, you're really only picking one person to double. It's not like you can just keep rotating because you'll be out of position
And you'll be out of zone.
after the first double team.
Okay, but as like a basketball simpleton over here, and I'll call myself that. Like I'm thinking in my head, I'm watching the game on a simple guy's term. I'm like, I see 2 guys covering Tatum. I see 1 guy covering Brown. That guy has to be better.
Yeah.
Everybody in the NBA knows that guy's better because NBA players and NBA coaches are putting 2 guys on that guy.
Yeah,
and,
I mean,
and I don't see Jason Tatum ever left open.
Yeah,
No.
it's definitely he's definitely the first takeaway in the scheme, and that's why
He's more efficient, is he not?
Tatum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
even
know the
get
exact
those-
numbers, but I would believe from
To
what
get
I
the double
just
teams,
watching the games.
statistically, I feel like they would have to
With
double
the Celtics,
team
the
him.
number 1 3-point shooting team in the league last year.
Yes.
Yeah, we got him up at the highest rate too.
Highest rate up, highest efficiency, most
Yep.
points, all that. This year again, same thing.
Yeah, I think the game's just going to start moving more and more towards offense, and they're going to get more threes up. That's what the analytic people say is more threes are better.
I'm going to agree with Nate only because Joe Mazzulla, since he's been here, hasn't been known for the defensive grittiness. It's always been that offensive, fast pace, throw up a 3, get back on defense. That transition game is what Joe Mazzulla loves, is getting back in transition. Even when you play video games, like you play the NBA 2K games, throw up the 3 right when you get the ball, and you're already getting back. So it's easy to just, for them to be great if it's rush down the court, find the mismatch, shoot the 3. Otherwise, you'll have a guy down low that gets wide open because they're focusing on the perimeter. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So I feel like it would definitely be an offensive onslaught instead of a defensive identity again.
For me, it's been more so the offense has been. It's about gambling at this point.
Yep.
They want the offense to keep going. They want you to be able to gamble on player stats, which means the ball's got to get up to get rebounds and assists,
Yep.
blocks. People have got to get the ball up. You got to get up and down the
Threes
floor.
are better for the game.
So when you're shooting threes, you're getting long rebounds. You're getting outletting it up the floor. Someone,
Yep.
So you're able to get more stats, more things for people to live gamble on.
Which makes me ask, do you think 3-pointers, potentially a 4-pointer, would be beneficial for the league overall?
No.
No?
I mean, adding a 4-pointer, for half-court shots?
Right. You'll have Steph Curry shooting the shot all game if there's a 4. Because I was thinking about this. I think it was today there was a report that the G League is now implicating a new rule or a new statistic that like the end of quarter heaves, they count as missed shots if you don't make it. They're thinking about no longer counting them if they're misses against a player's shot percentage. So like a person like Peyton Pritchard.
I think they should count.
If you put it up, it's a shot.
If you shoot it, it's a shot.
But now what they're doing is if you miss it, it's not counted as a missed shot.
That's
But
terrible.
that's like that. Like everyone gets a trophy bullshit.
Yeah,
no,
that's-
like you fucking.
It's
shoot
the
a
new
shot.
it's the new age, yeah.
Your percentage should get cut if you don't make that shot. When you
Yep.
put it up, unless you get fouled, then that's a field goal.
You're against the new rule if you
I'm
miss.
absolutely against
you
the
don't
new
count
rule.
it.
That sounds
against
horrible.
too. It's stupid.
Yeah. So
Because
that's
you get you're supposed to be rewarded for taking the risk on that.
Right.
You can't get the points, and then if you miss it, you don't get the miss.
The shot, yeah.
That's not,
they're going to be doing that this year. That is a thing.
Because then everyone's gonna start doing it, and that's not what makes it cool.
Yep. And
makes
what
it
is
cool.
what is the
But
lines of?
I could see that adding to more people taking the shot without having their
feel like
percentage go down. So gamblers would gamble more at the end of the half.
Right.
of-
Like, I'm going to bet an anytime buzzer beater.
yeah,
That's a-
exactly.
you know,
Anytime buzzer beater.
Peyton Pritchard.
And you put that on the board.
$10,000.
And now
Peyton Pritchard.
But you do it for every game because
Yeah.
now no one's worried about having their percentage go down.
Yep.
See, that's a great question because you brought it up once. Now the second time it came up is gambling during the games. I know that you're a gambler, and how do you think? You've already said it twice now. How do you think that's going to affect the way basketball is played?
Yep.
I mean,
The game is gonna change.
Gambling has completely changed the game, whether it's fantasy and now with legalized betting outside of Vegas and New Jersey, where everyone on their phone,
Yep.
in Massachusetts at least, and starting to move around the country, can gamble on everything, whether it's the number of shots someone takes, the 3-pointers, or a combination of shots, points, and
Same
assists.
leg parlays.
You can do live betting where the game's started and you're like, oh, that team's going to come back. There's so much to gamble on. And then you already had the fantasy sports people were doing.
Yep.
So you add that in order to get drive fantasy up, you got to have more stats. So the stats for fantasy, the stats for gambling, they're cross-connecting.
So that's
and
what
ESPN
that new rule
is selling all of it.
And that's what that new rule is for them. Is like, oh, just another thing to bet on, and they know it.
But how does ESPN give you the lines?
When you say ESPN is betting on all of it, look at that laugh you got going on. What is that exactly?
ESPN, I mean, they managed to put their hand in every pot. So they are the marketer telling you about all the sports. So everyone turns on SportsCenter. You get ESPN SportsCenter, right?
You see the little thing down at the bottom of the screen.
Now they get the ticker of all the
1-800 ticker.
But they also have their own sports book, ESPN Bet.
Yep.
So now you go from ESPN telling you what to watch, what to bet on, and what they think the line should be, and then you go onto their website to bet on the game they told you what the line was going to be.
Yep.
And they have this big marketing team of guys 24/7 telling you, this is who we like. This is who we like. You should
What
do
about
this.
the fake posts that they love to do? Have you seen the fake betting posts they do? They'll say a guy bet like $5 and then he got like 7 correct things and he won like $200,000. Those are the odds are never actually line up. They just get you to keep betting.
Well, I mean, if you read it, whenever you join and they say you get free bets, if you win, most sites make you bet 4 times the amount that you win in order to withdraw the money. So they give you the money, but you don't get to just bet it and take it right out. Like, I won $200, I'm taking it out. They usually make you have to do a certain amount of times with any bonuses when you sign up or reload bonuses. Like, load $100, we'll match your bonus. So now you got to bet $800
just to win
to get your money back off.
Damn, you know how many motherfuckers must have lost that $200 on that? I was gonna do that myself, and I just got lazy and didn't do it. But like I know other people that did that shit. They must have lost on that shit. I know that because
everyone loses. They put it in as free bets, and everyone loses. Or you win a couple of first ones because you're like, whatever, and you're not trying to outthink the system.
Yep.
And you bet on some things. You win a couple, and you're like, I'm a master. I know this. And then everyone gets into the sucker parlays, which is a combination of multi-team bets, which any real gambler knows it's the worst thing to do. Win one game, put a whole lot of money on it, and get out the door. Don't try to put a whole bunch of things together.
Yep.
The more complicated you make things, the harder it becomes.
Yeah,
so
why I
a
suck at
simple
betting.
bet is one team. Put 10 grand on it. If you got to put $1,000 on it, but don't put. I put a $5 bet in, and I get 20-1 odds, and I put $100 on.
My friend
Cody. What
Cody.
are the chances you winning that?
My friend Cody.
Not likely.
What my friend Cody does, he'll put like a huge parlay in, and I swear every single time he'll get 7 out of 8, 6 out of 7, and it's like, dude, that kills. That makes that $20 hurt way more than if you're betting 1,000 on one team.
Well,
just on a money line.
Well, the gambling part of it is in Keno.
Yep.
There's never been someone who's won 12 for 12.
Yep.
So why would anyone bet a parlay? I know they give you 1,000,000-1 odds, and you could bet $1, and
if you're not hitting it on Keno, why are you doing it on sports gambling?
But it's like no one's done 12 for 12 in Keno. No one's really doing 9 out of 12 in Keno. So so if you're not hitting that in other aspects, think of the math. The math's the same.
Yep.
For you to hit 9 games. It's very difficult, and for you to do it with real money on it, so you to make some money, like you got to take some long shots. You got to take some teams. You
just
can't
by the
take
conversation,
favorites.
you already lost. You already lost.
You got to take some favorites, and every week somebody gets upset.
Yep, or injured, or a last second parlay buster. This player's not playing.
So back to that ESPN shit, that was kind of interesting though. Is like back in the day, ESPN actually was like a sports site. Like it was like a sports program. Like SportsCenter was like
genuine
real,
sports
genuine
program.
sports shit. But what you just described seems like a gambling business.
Absolutely,
it's an enterprise.
They
had
the
gambling business.
They had the front seat to the gambling business. So once they were able to set up their own sports book,
it changed.
They are ESPN Bet. So now they market you. We have the knowledge of all the sports, which was built in.
But you've you've been around long enough to see the shift.
Yes.
From like when it used to be like a thing, and now it's like it's just changed to like Disney World, sports betting, gambling.
Everything that
crazy.
that ESPN does seems to have some kind of gambling aspect around it. So they want to tell you what the line is and where to go gamble.
I have a question for you guys. You first. Who is your favorite non-starting Celtic?
My favorite non-starting Celtic. They have never started, or they just aren't your cornerstone starter?
I'm talking about who's in the fucking team right now.
Oh, on the team,
make this all
non-Celtics?
complicated, homie.
Let me. All right. My favorite non-starting Celtic right now probably is gonna go with. I'm going really Sam Hauser or Jordan Walsh. And I go with Jordan Walsh because I just have this gut feeling that he's going to be some amazing star for some reason. I watch him dunk, and I'm like, yeah.
Can we sound an alarm for a hot take?
Yeah, we can do that. And but I think my favorite non-starting Celtic would have to be Sam Hauser. He reminds me of Ray Allen when he shoots the three. Just quick up, boom, quick up, boom. Like you noticed the way back in the day when Ray Allen would run along the baseline and shoot the three. It was just so smooth and quick, just boom. Boom. So I'm going to have to go with Sam Hauser.
Not bad. I like Hauser. But I go Peyton Pritchard.
Peyton Pritchard?
He's
8 Mile.
He is that ball of energy. He's that guy that every team needs to just go out there, bust your ass, and know that no one's ever going to be like, you're the man. You know, you're out there busting your ass for the team. I actually seen Julian Edelman talking about it. He's like, I took a shot in the arm to get out there, and I'm watching guys with the same injury not wanting to get out there. He's like, that's who Peyton Pritchard is. He's that Julian Edelman that's busting his ass.
Julian
and will
Edelman
probably never get the credit that he deserves. Sixth man of the year. But
Julian Edelman, a.k.a. Peyton Pritchard for the
He's
Celtics.
on like a short, like a really nice contract too for like a while, isn't he? Like $500K or like $1 million for like something some small.
He's
amount
got
of
a
money.
huge bargain price. Huge.
He is
Fans better buckle
definitely
up.
here for more love than
Fans
than,
better buckle up
paycheck.
to lose him because
So what's the end of the roster? So you got Hauser, you got Pritchard. Fill out the rest of the roster. Who else is on the roster?
Neemias Queta, Luke Cornett.
Okay, we'll talk about each guy like individually.
All right. Queta is like the dog, one of the junkyard dogs on the team. Like when I see him, I picture old KG or I picture Rasheed Wallace getting in your face and just screaming at you.
Is he someone that's actually gonna play though?
I think he's going to get a lot more playing time in the beginning of the year only because of the big man depth that we have so much questions about.
I think Xavier Tillman's probably going to step up in the big man role.
I think it'll be him, Queta.
And be able to, fill in there until, January when Porzingis comes back. Because,
we need our Castle of Glass back so bad.
Horford's obviously starting on opening night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who's starting night 2 though?
Are they playing back to? They're not
Tillman.
playing back to back.
They're not playing back to back.
They're not playing back to back.
But they might do Tillman. Horford's minutes are probably going to be. They'll keep him limited for most of the season.
If they rest Al Horford game 2, then I think Cornette will get the starting job. I think they will keep going in and out between Tillman and Queta. If Queta is even with Boston, he might be in Maine, rocking the Maine G League. But
So you guys say, you guys just went back and forth at Tillman and Queta, but left out
Cornette.
Yeah, he's starting.
Isn't he? So he's the best of the 3 though.
The best of the 3, yes, I would say.
Yeah.
Between Queta.
But he may be in the starting lineup. You were saying the bench players. So
Yeah, no, I was just saying like who's going to start next after him, and he is obviously a bench player though. So who else do we have? We have obviously Tatum, Brown, the top 4. Yeah, obviously them.
White, Holiday,
Pritchard,
Hauser,
Tillman, Horford,
Jordan Walsh, but he might be also.
That was our rookie
Maine.
last year, right?
Yep, that was the rookie number 27. I don't think Baylor's going to crack starting lineup, or even I don't think he'll crack regular lineup this year. He looks great, but
honestly,
I don't think Baylor's cracking.
I think we're going to just go 8 players. I don't think we're going to do the really deep team. I think we're going to do 8, maybe 9.
Yeah,
But I think we'll have more of a playoff look.
Out the gates, you think?
Tom Thibodeau type deal. Not necessarily playing everybody 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But I think these guys are going to have a chip on their shoulder. I think they're going to go for the 73 wins, and I think they're going to go after.
You are
neck.
still on that 73 baloney. I don't see it, dude. I'd rather the title
Tatum
first.
Brown have two bigger chips on their shoulders. The Olympic snub and being treated like he's a secondary player on an Olympic team.
I think that'll cause them to go and win
and Jaylen Brown not being put on that Olympic team.
I think that'll cause them to go and get the in-season tournament title.
In-season tournament is a big crock of shit.
You think so?
Biggest crock of shit.
I think it adds incentives for your bench warmer teams like Detroit
They
or
don't play.
Indiana.
The bench doesn't play. You know who was in the in-season tournament last year? 7 seeds.
Yep.
Teams that were in the play-in for the playoffs.
LeBron and his Mickey Mouse title.
Yes, they were an 8 seed and they won the in-season tournament. That's how much it mattered. You know who they played? They played a 7 seed.
You know,
It doesn't matter. The good teams don't care about some Mickey Mouse tournament that's paying them $1 million. If Tatum needs a rest, he's not worried about some fake trophy.
Yeah. Do you think these Celtics could win the in-season tournament without Jaylen Brown or JB?
I think they're going to win the in-season tournament because they're going to win 73 games, and it's just going to be the course.
You win
It's just going to
73
be the course of playing the games They're not trying to lose. And I think they have a chip saying, respect that we did win that championship. It meant something that you guys don't want to give us credit for. Jaylen Brown is an elite player that doesn't get his credit at all. I mean, yeah, we paid him.
Yep.
That should be his respect. Yeah, he's Finals MVP. That should be his respect. Oh, no. We don't want you for the Olympics. That's like the biggest slap in the face. You can't represent this country.
It is Nike. Nike do be fishy on that American soil stuff. They've had some eyeballs towards them last few years, you know. So I'm not surprised at all that Nike did what they did to JB. I'm not surprised. You know, maybe they knew before us that he was getting his own shoe. Maybe, you know,
did you guys see the Stephen A. Smith?
Oh yes, JB
No.
is sitting with Stephen A. Smith. He's having a sit down with him. Is it tomorrow?
He was. I saw the.
Really?
When I was on the train, I saw him on Twitter just post that Stephen A. Smith was wearing the State Your Source shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna be a big interview.
He was with but he was with Jaylen Brown in the Celtics facility.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so they had a sit down. I don't know when it comes out, but
I'm a big fan of Jaylen for that because, you know, a lot of people like to say things and no one wants to state their source. An anonymous source said, you know, which is their divide and conquer thing. They don't want to tell you who said it, so they'll just make things up and say an anonymous source in the building said it.
Well, they're also paying people to get this info. That's been happening for years. Oh, what do you know about this? Let me pay for it. And
do you think there's any truth to Stephen A. Smith's comments about Jaylen Brown not being marketable?
no, he's just looking for likes.
I think being outspoken makes it's tougher to market because when you pick a stance and you're outspoken, there's a section that you may be offending that may not buy a product necessarily because of the way you're speaking or what you're speaking about. So that in the marketing of it, I do understand that, but you can get around that. I mean,
Yeah,
Charlie Sheen sells.
Do you think like what Stephen A. Smith was also talking about, and I was bringing up the elephant in the room, he's like the educated black man. The educated, outspoken black man. I think that's what Stephen A. Smith's getting at. I think that's what he means by saying Jaylen Brown's not a marketable player because
I think
he talks about certain stuff that companies don't want.
Yeah.
But everyone knows Jaylen Brown is like the head of the NBA
people
Players
first.
Union. He's like he went to Cal Poly. He's someone who like studies at Harvard.
He's like one of the top humanitarian people on the planet.
He's a smart, educated.
He's no
young
dumb
man.
person.
So like that right there, like the fear of the educated black man. Like that kind of shit.
I actually
so why
hadn't
would
even
he?
thought of it like
why
that.
would Stephen A.
Really?
further push that against him then?
But
Stephen A. should be putting up Jaylen Brown higher.
So Stephen A.'s point to that was that's why I figured you of all people would know something like that. Is his whole point to that was when I saw him talk about it on some other show. He was like when Jaylen Brown said maybe me and Stephen will have a sit down on Hot Wings.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys saw Hot Wings.
Yep.
Jaylen Brown was on Hot Wings and he said that maybe me and Stephen A. will have a sit down. And so when they played that clip, I was getting my hair cut and I saw him get that clip played. And they were talking about, he's like, I would love to have a sit down. He's like, because I want Jaylen Brown to get more endorsements, and he doesn't get them because of what he talks about and what he stands for.
So you think it's...
He goes, I want to give him a platform so we can talk about that. And we can talk about why these people don't give. He's like, I don't not want him to have endorsements. I'm just saying they don't want to endorse him. So it's like, let's talk about it. So I think that's like, and I've always thought that they meant that, just him being like the college educated, education first, like not militant black man, but educated.
I believe he's Muslim as well. So I believe there's a lot of layers to it, not just necessarily he's educated. Intellectual Muslim. If you're gonna put that on it, and then an outspoken person, whether they're black or white, who can actually articulate what needs to be said. And not come off as aggressive or offensive, but give people an actual voice to something else where it's like this person would have said it and you would have been offended. I'm gonna say it and you're gonna understand what I'm talking about and not feel attacked.
And they also don't want him to be the one saying that.
Yes, he doesn't fit the mold of the Steph Curry. He doesn't have the exact look that they typically want to market.
He's
as
not
well.
their star child in their eyes.
And I say fuck that. Like, the dude, you know what I mean? Like, fuck all that shit. The dude he's someone that's willing to do the work. So,
And look at what he's doing for the economy in Boston too. He's got that new initiative going on. The what do they call it? The Black Wall Street. They quoted it something like that. Where
He's starting a new Black Wall Street in Boston.
Yeah, he's been.
It's like he's fucking it up, but don't worry, he means well.
I mean well. I'm not fully tapped into it.
I saw what you're saying too. What he's doing is he's
it was
giving
labeled like that, was it not?
And I saw it kind of was, and I only saw it because there's a black activist in Boston that's outspoken about it that I know. But what the essence of what I saw, what it was, is he's onto it. Jalen's giving like 10 black businesses like $100,000 each grand or some shit like that.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like it's something along those lines.
Yeah, main header right here. Celtics Jaylen Brown aims to revive quote-unquote Black Wall Street in Boston. It's launching Boston X Change, a nonprofit organization that plans to build generational wealth and cultural innovation in the black and brown community.
Okay.
So when I saw that, I was like, "Yo, that's big moves."
He also
You
builds
are altering.
basketball courts and shit like that.
Yeah,
and stuff.
he's done a ton of city work for Boston and Boston communities alike. Even back home, he's from Atlanta. Isn't
I
he?
love Jaylen Brown.
Yeah,
like
Jaylen
I
Brown's
like
dope.
like he's dope. Like
As I said in episode 1, Jaylen Brown for MVP.
You're biased.
Of course I'm biased.
You're homie though, So
I mean, yeah.
I picked Dan Edwards though, because if they're gonna spoon feed anybody in the league, it's gonna be him.
73 wins. I'm telling you, we're getting an MVP.
I swear, everyone loved
Banner
that.
19. I mean,
Banner
it's
19.
It's gonna be a beautiful
79 and 3.
So this last 5 or so minutes, guys. All right, you're going.
Yep, I'll be at Banner Night.
Causeway, Caveman on Causeway is
Yep.
going to be at Banner Night.
Yep, absolutely.
Are
Crazy.
Are you sitting next to
Crazy.
LeBron James?
I wish. I wish I was sitting next to LeBron. I'd probably get thrown out if I was sitting next to him. No, it's like, come on.
Why is LeBron going to be there?
No,
I
He'll be, I hope he's
I doubt
watching.
it, but I mean, he might be. You know, he's a glory hound. He'll
Well,
just,
I'm hoping.
just show up.
I'm
They're
hoping.
not like he's not playing them, right?
No,
No. But I'm hoping
But
that.
you know, it's the Knicks, it's the Celtics. You know, he'll be like, oh yeah, me and Bronny just popped into town real quick with
Yeah.
the TNT crew or something.
Yeah, something weird like
Oh,
that.
he's like a guest referee. Or
You,
some
you know, the
shit.
celebrities are coming out for this game.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of celebrities are going to be
Oh,
there,
you think
and
so?
the old team.
Have
From
the
what I've
Celtics
heard.
finally arrived? The celebrities come to the game besides the Patriots and the Bruins.
Or yeah, like
That's
you
my
guys
belief.
Wanna, you guys want to know even a wild?
we'll find out in
you guys-
24 hours,
You
I'll
guys
say
want to
that.
know a crazier thing about all of it too? Is they're doing a special podcast right before the game starts over at Big Night Live next to the TD Garden. Ready for this? Paul Pierce with co-host Kevin Garnett is going to be at Banner Night on the podcast. And it's like, dude, like I'll be one of those sour young fans again. It's like, of course you're going to be there on Banner Night.
So
Of course.
Rondo's in town.
I hope Rondo's in town, even though he's working
I
with the
guarantee
Bucks.
you Rondo's in town.
He was working
Rondo's
with
in
the
town.
Bucks. He was working with the Bucks like a week ago. 2
Wasn't
weeks
even
ago.
Ray out? Ray Allen was at the parade, wasn't he?
I don't think Ray
I
went
don't-
to the parade.
Didn't Ray? Oh, he was at the finals or something. Ray was
I think
somewhere. for the
Ray
finals.
was. Yeah, I think he did show
No, when
up.
the Celtics won the banner, he was in the Garden. Yeah, he was in the Garden when they won. Yeah, I'm like 90%
know.
positive of that.
I know.
I know they all buried the hatchet with him other than Rondo. Rondo still can't stand him.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you still have the record assist for the most 3-pointers ever by Allen. So
Do you know that him and Rondo like got in a fist fight, right?
yeah,
They boxed it out in the locker room and shit. I still think that's over a chick. They say it like no one's ever like said that, but just the way they both hold on to it, like I just feel like it's about a girl. Like,
Yeah, honestly, I feel for it.
I
Then
just
if it's
do.
about a girl,
You know
I
it's
feel
not
for
I
basketball.
it.
think they're
then.
both married, so I don't think it's like they're ever gonna say anything like that.
Right.
But I
There's
think
got to
it's
be
like,
something along the lines that they're not going to talk about.
That
It's
just-
like the Malcolm Butler and Belichick crap. Us, our teams in Boston love to not tell the truth when it comes to that type of stuff. So
I don't
mean,
know.
that-
I don't know why. What happened with Belichick and Malcolm Butler?
he benched him in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but why?
We don't know.
Oh, I thought you would have.
He won't comment on it.
I thought you had the
No, you don't.
inside
I don't.
info on that one.
No, I'm just a caveman. I ain't got no insight on that.
But you're going to the game.
Yeah, I'll be there.
So-
I'm in
so what can we
Loge.
expect?
If you're hearing this before you get to the game, you got City Hall I'm going to try to be at. You're around the Garden. A bunch of the Celtics super fans will be there. Everybody that is a Celtics fan will be there. I don't want to see any New York Knicks fans there tomorrow. That's not fair.
So
like,
everybody's bleeding green.
everyone has to be bleeding green. Everybody. Even the YouTube trolls, they got to be wearing Celtics green.
You think the bars will uncork the green beers just for Banner Night?
That would be sick if they had it.
Give that St. Patty's Day vibe?
Yeah, paint the river green, so that would be cool. But yeah, you'll find me in Loge. There'll be a halftime meetup. Check Instagram. Green Runs Deep always posts where it's gonna be, and let's go raise banner 18. And then
Do you know what you're doing after the game?
I don't know what I'm doing after the game yet. I heard there's a party that's gonna be happening after the game.
There's probably a lot of parties.
There's
That's gonna happen.
some Jaylen Brown parties happening tomorrow night. So, and they're
Is
selling tickets to it.
Is
so.
the Caveman on Causeway going to be allowed in the Jaylen Brown party?
I don't see why not.
You know, well, I'm saying like you should be invited, right?
Well, no, I wouldn't say I should be invited. I got a lot of work to do, but I would say that it is like very cheap to get into that party tomorrow night. So I think,
so if you're not there, you heard what he said.
yeah,
You're broke. I heard that. Broke people can get into the Jaylen Brown party.
I guess so.
You know why? Jaylen Brown's for the people.
Yep, JB's for the people.
Jaylen Brown is for the people.
What's your guys' final prediction for the game tomorrow?
All right, I said it on a different show, and I'm gonna say it again. I think it's gonna be 117-109 Celtics.
117-109.
Yep.
Opening night, dropping the banner, high energy. I'm thinking about 130 to 115 because, you know, the Celtics, we're winning 15 to 20 point for everybody. The Knicks, the Pistons, the Wizards.
Yep.
Next Monday, the Bucks will beat them by 15 too.
The Bucks will beat them by 15.
We're beating the Bucks by 15.
Okay, I was gonna say because
I don't think Nate thinks they're losing like for the first month.
yeah, you don't think they're gonna lose the first 10-15 games?
Maybe a hiccup, but I doubt it.
You know, a hiccup would go against your 73-9.
No, because I watched the Bulls go 72-10, and they lost to 2 expansion teams. They lost to Toronto twice and Memphis.
Maybe
once.
that's why Steve Kerr is.
So I mean, out of 10 games, they lost to teams that were trash.
Yeah.
So yes, a hiccup can happen, and you can still run off another 20 straight.
I'm sorry to be such a 73-9 hater, but I just want the ring. Don't focus on no accolades. You know?
We got the ring. I want everything else. I want to run through the league, stomp every team down, walk through the playoffs, and to go now say it was easy because that we made it look easy. Simple.
It ain't gonna be LeBron easy with the Mickey Mouse title though.
I mean, yeah, because no one's gonna get a 3-month break. COVID's not happening again.
That we know. Never know anymore.
He just said 3-month break. See, that was the easy one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rest up and then you know it's a sprint, not a marathon at that point.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's an easy title LeBron won. It was just a different way of going about it because everyone says it's a matter of attrition, a season. You gotta get through the injuries. You gotta go through all that stuff. When you just rest up and you go first 1 to 15 games.
I think it was hell for the players mentally and like the environment, but anything besides that, I think it was an easier title.
I think that's overrated as well. I mean, the mental aspect of it, they shoot in an empty gym every day.
Yeah.
They do it all the time. The only difference is they put a scoreboard that actually kept track of it.
Yeah.
You think they're not going hard in practice?
Yeah.
I've heard stories of Jimmy Butler fighting his teammates and playing with the third team squad in practice. You know what I'm saying? Like they do that anyway. So yeah, being isolated away from your family, that was you know that I get, but as far as the playing in an empty gym, they had to have loved it.
But they were also the only people that got to see anybody. Everybody else was home all by themselves. Like,
and they were still getting gourmet meals, and they were able to interact in their bubble.
Yeah.
So like because they were isolated from everybody.
That was a year I thought the Celtics were really going to win the title. That was a year that I was like, yo, like we could do it, but it fell flat.
I mean, if you don't give Anthony Davis and LeBron time to heal up, they're not there. They were both injured at the time of the stoppage.
Yep.
So
and it's also like the Celtics were still young. The thing about the Celtics
is we're still young.
Well, I feel like that the reason why they get shit on quote unquote so much is because like they're almost like their young years, the development years of them developing, they still made it to the fucking finals. They still made it to like the Eastern Conference Finals a bunch of times. So people like expect them to do it, but then you go like, didn't Tatum win it before Jordan won it and LeBron won it and like just about everybody won it?
Well, there's the New England hate as well, the Boston hate where they had to deal with the Patriots for so long. Then the Red Sox broke the curse. Then the Bruins won. So they're like, oh well, we gotta hate the Celtics. They're in the Eastern Conference Final. Every team except for 2 would want to be in that position.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, yes, LeBron, you're in the finals, you can hate. Steph, you're in the finals, you can hate. Everybody else, shut up.
Yeah.
It's like, the rest of the NBA can't talk.
I got sick of seeing the Warriors and LeBron over and over and over and over and over.
As a LeBron hater, I loved watching him getting smacked down by the Warriors over and over.
I gotta disagree. I do like the year 2016 they came back 3-1. I think that was the most poetic title run I've seen in a long time. Was it better than last year's Celtics? Not so much, but like that 3-1 when Klay Thompson said must have hurt his feelings, and then LeBron goes, he said it must have hurt my feelings in the Undertaker shirt and laughed, and then came back from 3-1 against the Warriors. That was a poetic title.
That was the 73 win team
that lost.
that lost.
So why do you want us to go 73-9?
Because I don't think we'll be down 3-1 in the series before that. See, they were up 3-1 and lost to LeBron. They were down 3-1 the series before that. So it wasn't like they were elite in the playoffs. They had one of the worst playoff records for a team to reach the finals. So, yeah, they were great in the regular season.
that year? They didn't have KD.
They lost the same number of games in the playoffs as they did in the regular season. That's terrible.
Yeah. Well, when you win like that, it's terrible.
That's terrible. Like, if you're going to win, keep winning.
Yep.
They got down. They should have lost. They shouldn't even been in the finals. So, yes, LeBron, you came back against a great, historic team that shouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
You know, and that is the all-time Kevin Durant fumble with Westbrook. They should have won and been in the finals.
And beat LeBron.
But they fumbled the bag, and they lost a 3-1 lead to Golden State, and then Golden State lost it to LeBron. So, I mean, it happened twice.
Yep.
But we only talk about the LeBron version because, you know, that is their chosen one.
Yep. And we don't talk about that 3-1 lead that Miami blew either, but it's still there, guys. It's still there. It's still there somewhere, but 3-1, Miami blew it 2 years ago.
All right, so everybody thinks Celtics tomorrow going to win the thing. They think they're going to win forever. You think they're going to lose more games than last year to make it harder on themselves for some reason.
Yep,
but
absolutely.
Tomorrow, stand by it.
Someone's got to say the whack shit here.
Okay. All right, man.
Well, that's episode 2 of the Causeway Cave. I'm the Caveman on Causeway.
I'm Nate. Aurora, Daddy loves you.
Celtics ain't winning 73 games this year. And we're out.
74.
Okay.